What's good? We back with another one. Breakdown, prediction. Gerald Washington Jarrell, Big Baby Miller, heavyweight co-feature or undercard bout to Adrian Broner versus Mikey Miguel Garcia out there in Brooklyn, New York, in the hometown of Jarrell, Big Baby Miller. Should be a good one. Let's get into it. Start off with Gerald Washington. I think he's fought the better foes. Amir Mansour, Deontay Wilder. Just them two alone. He fought the better foes. Better step up in competition is better. He stepped up in competition as well. Even a guy like Ray Austin, who Bermain Stavern had a little trouble with back in the day, and he's one of those guys who's a late starter. He used to be a football player at USC. University of Southern California. Uses his height well. That's his best attribute. He uses his height very well. He's the guy that's 6'6", that knows how to use his height. Shout out to his trainer, John Pullman. I think that's his name. He knows how to use his height. And a knock on him is he's not as aggressive. He's not aggressive. He's not one of those guys, like I say, Canelo Alvarez punches through the target. He punches at the target. He doesn't fully commit to that right hand. He doesn't fully commit with the jab. And that's his issue. To me, that's his issue. He's not offensively aggressive. He's too timid in there. But then again, he uses his height well, and that could be an issue. And Jarrell, Big Baby Miller, is a guy who's never went 12 rounds, never went 10 rounds as well. And this is only a 10-round fight, by the way. I don't know a lot of people know that. It's scheduled to be a 10-rounder fight. Jarrell, Big Baby Miller, is in front of his hometown. I know he's going to want to show out. Thing about Jarrell, Big Baby Miller is he's a good body puncher. He's an excellent body puncher. Bring the uppercut up. He got pop in both hands. Very athletic guy. Big guy. I think he was, last time I seen him, I think he was at the Andre Kovalev 2 fight. He was 315 pounds, he said. He's cut up to be a big fella. He's very athletic. And I think going deep in fights, even in a 10-rounder fight, that extra weight can be an issue. But if he's used to carrying it, so be it. Get into the strategy-wise of the fight. Washington is going to use his height. So Miller's going to have to know how to, try to cut the ring off on Washington. That's something that Amir Mansour didn't do. It's something that, Wilder had trouble doing. It was trying to figure out how to cut the ring and how to get inside that reach. And that's just going to be Miller's thing. If Miller feels like he can take the punches, maybe Miller might walk through him like he does a lot of opponents. But Washington's footwork is so good that he controls distance and he's able to get off with that jab and that right hand. And it's not like he's throwing it with authority, but he's throwing it enough pop on there that a lot of guys tend to respect it. Mansour tended to respect it. And even though he drew with Amir Mansour, some people thought he won, some people thought he lost. Just because he's not aggressive, he's not a go-getter. He's not going to press the action. He's going to let the action come to him and try to counter and try to, peck at it with the jab and the right hand. And for Miller, it's going to be cutting the ring off, trying to get to the body because, Miller is a couple inches short, and I believe Washington might have the better reach. Cutting the ring off, getting to the body, and then working upstairs is pretty much going to be the recipe for Miller. The funny thing about it is Miller carrying that extra weight, people tend to just say that might be an issue. He simply doesn't think that the issue. Maybe he believes he can knock anybody out early in fights. But Washington's I think he still has not scored a knockout past the fifth or sixth round, I believe it is. And his work rate tends to drop off in the latter half of the fight, so that can be an issue as well. So you can see a fight that's up for grabs versus two guys that tend to have issues going late in fights, or the unknown with Miller going late in fights with the work rate. So most people think Miller could fade due to the weight, the weight issue, and Washington tends to fade, and that's a fact. His work rate tends to fade throughout the fight. He doesn't throw a lot of punches. He's not aggressive. He's not a go-getter. And, that's hard to change. You can't change a guy that doesn't have that vicious mentality to go out there and get the knockout. But, John Pullman, Washington's trainer, Team Washington has been saying they think Jarrell Miller's on some type of PEDs. He's been busted for PEDs before, for something that's a PED that's also known as an energy booster. That's not a steroid. It's just a pick-me-up. But still, they still think he's on some type of performance that has some drugs. They say the way he's so emotional, the way his attitude is. They said they wanted random drug testing for this fight. Couldn't get it. I guess because they're not the A side here or whatever it may be, because he's fighting in his hometown. But it will be a drug tested before the fight, and I'm pretty much guessing after the fight, but I don't know how quick the results will come back. And that's an asterisk. So after the fight, be prepared if Washington loses for them to cry that he was on some type of performance-enhancing drugs coming to this fight. They had an article, I did a video on it. You can check the archives about it. But you know, like I say, if you can't get him to take the test, don't take the fight then. You take the fight, no excuses. You took the fight knowing you had an uphill battle or think you had an uphill battle, that's on you. But I got Jarrell Big Baby Miller stopping, you know, Gerald Washington in the 5th round. I can see Gerald Washington winning this fight, but I don't know how he's going to react after getting knocked out. I think, you know, Jarrell Miller going to get him together and knock him out in the 5th. Body shot, uppercut combination. We gone.